Hello there, everyone. I know it has been a very long time since I have done a video, and I apologize for that. First of all, many of you may notice right away that it sounds a little bit different. Hang on, let me move this around a little bit. The GoPro is back, and I want to thank Shane over at Adventures in Blind Videography for his help in getting my GoPro back in working order. Without going into detail, the memory card that I was using was what was wrong with the GoPro the entire time. So I got a new memory card and it is working very well. So thanks for your help with that. I hope to do a lot more with the GoPro in the future. There's going to be a whole lot more videos coming from the GoPro. So you're probably wondering, and I apologize for the look of this table. Okay, I apologize. So you'll notice in the frame right now that I'm holding this little thing that kind of looks like a book that is closed. And I know that you're wondering what in the world is this? Well, this is a video that I know that many of you have been waiting to see for a while, and that is I'm going to talk about the HoverAir drones. Specifically the HoverAir X1 Pro Max that I have, which is the thing I'm holding right now. Now, a little bit of a background about what these are, first of all. First of all, I know that there's a lot of people that are curious about these drones, okay? So let me just clear a few things up right away, especially with blind people. This is not something that you're going to be able to fly manually and have it go where you want it to go. Now, if you have sighted assistance, you can certainly do that with the Pro and Pro Max models. And if you have an accessory called the beacon, you can attach joysticks and do it that way. What this drone does is it flies in preset flight modes. And when you go in the app, you can control the duration, the height, and in some cases the radius, and things like that. The app is accessible, okay, I will say that. And you are able to offload the files from the drone to the app. So be aware if you choose to get one of these. First of all, they're very expensive. Second of all, you will be dealing with preset flight patterns. So you need to make sure that whatever you want to line up and shoot is within the drone's camera frame. So what are these exactly? Well, the HoverAir X1 line of drones are autonomous drones. They fly themselves. You don't need to do anything. The original X1 was marketed as a flying selfie camera. And for the most part, that drone kind of is a flying selfie camera. It only shoots in 2.7K, and it doesn't have a very big battery life, but then again, no drone does. So I want to talk a little bit about the three models of drone in the X1 line. So there's the original X1, which is still available, that has a stationary camera on the front of it that only shoots in 2.7K. And it cannot fly in snow or over water or hills or anything like that. The X1 Pro and the X1 Pro Max, okay, let me talk about the similarities first. The X1 Pro and the Pro Max add 48 megapixel cameras. I have the two fingers of my right hand on the camera. The cameras are mounted on what are called Gimbals. The camera is mounted on what's called a gimbal, a 2-axis gimbal. It has horizontal and forward and backward rotation. So left, right, forward, back rotation. And that is to keep you in its frame. I'll show you what happens if you don't point the camera at a person. Okay? So, what you're going to... so, the difference is now between the Pro and Pro Max. The Pro does 4K. The Pro Max does 8K. Now, yes, you can lower the resolution and bit rate and things like that if you want to. Okay, I am working on doing that actually on this drone, so that all my drone videos will be in 1080p. So you say, well, why get the Pro or Pro Max? Well, both of them have omni-terrain sensors that will allow them to fly over water and in snow and things like that. More importantly, they have obstacle avoidance technology. Now, the Pro only has a sensor on the rear. You can see where I've got my left index finger, for those of you that can see. There is a time of flight sensor on the rear. The Pro Max has an additional obstacle avoidance sensor on the side. And that is the sole reason why I got the Pro Max, is because of the additional obstacle avoidance technology that is in it. And also, the Pro and Pro Max support micro SD card expansion. I have a 1 terabyte micro SD card in this drone. And unlike the GoPro, a 1 TB SD card is flawless in this drone. It works very well. And so now, there's a lot more that I could go into, but if you want to hear a demo of the original HoverAir X1, I encourage you to go check out a channel called The Blind Life on YouTube. Sam did a demo of the HoverAir X1, and that was actually what inspired me to look into one of these drones. And then after I found out about it, I learned about the Pro and Pro Max. And so I decided to bide my time, and when they were having a sale, I got a Pro Max. Now, excuse me, price-wise, the Pro is $500, the Pro Max is $700. The original X1, which is still being made, I believe that is $300. But that's before you get add-ons. Now the original X1 doesn't have a lot of add-on things, but if you do a Pro and Pro Max, you can get there's an accessory called the beacon that helps you track it, that helps it it will follow the beacon instead of you. Good for more precise tracking. There is a case that's basically a giant battery, and you can put the drone in the case, and it will hold, I believe the battery can charge the drone twice. There are what are called neutral density filters, or I think it's called natural density filters. I forgot. Where you can basically put glasses on the cameras in the Pro and Pro Max to control the amount of light that goes into them. And you can get backpacks for them and whatever. Now also extra batteries. Now with the original X1, you can get extra batteries, and I believe there's a carry case, but the original X1 doesn't have as much functionality as this. I think the best way to put this is that the original X1 was marketed as a selfie camera. The Pro and Pro Max are really marketed toward content creators who don't want to do a lot of stuff with drones, or who don't want to learn how to fly them. Or if you're like me and you're blind, you want a drone that will do all the work for you. So, a description of the drone. So first of all, it is folded right now. The X1 Pro Max is kind of like a book. It looks like a book when it's closed. The spine is the battery and the 3 control buttons. The sides are a cage that is built around the propellers that are inside of it. So you don't have to worry about cutting your hand. You don't have to worry about cutting your fingers or anything like that, because it is protected. So you can stick your fingers in there, but when the drone is in the air, you're not going to be able to stick your fingers in there unless it is an absolute freak accident. On the front of the drone, if you hold it vertically, which is the best way to do this, with the battery facing up. Now, the battery, by the way, is very easy to take on and off. So I'm feeling the battery right now, as you can feel. It is a long rectangular thing. There are 2 bumps. There's like a ridge on each side. If I push down and pull up, now you can see I'm holding the battery. And it's basically, I'm holding the battery in my right hand. It is a rectangular thing. It is very obvious what way it goes in. It only goes in one way. There are ridges on the top, and the top is a little bit higher than the bottom. So to put the battery in, put the battery back in, you'll notice that on the drone there is a ridge that is on the back. There's a slot that I'm running my fingers in it, but there's a slot. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the bottom, and you're going to just, you kind of have to work with it a little bit. You have to wrestle with it a little bit. But now it's in. Well, no, it's not in all the way. Okay. So what I try to do is start at the top, slide the bottom of the battery back, and then push down. It has to be flush with the surface. But like I said, it only goes in one way. It's easy. You will feel a little round glass. You'll feel a little round thing on the rear. That is the obstacle avoidance sensor. Okay, that is one of the obstacle avoidance sensors if you have the Pro Max. If you have the Pro, that's the only one you've got. On the front of the drone is the camera. It's if you have the Pro or Pro Max, it's a big old rectangular thing, and you can feel that it moves around. The camera mount moves around, but the camera itself also moves around. Now, if I turn the drone, one of the things that I had a hard time with when I first got this drone is how hard it is to feel for the micro USB port. So if you feel along the bottom of the battery, if you have the drone lying on top of your hand like this horizontally with the battery facing towards you, you will feel a little thing that it almost feels like it's part of the cage, but it's a little rectangular thing. That is the USB. That is the USB port. Right above it is the micro SD card slot for those that have the Pro and Pro Max. And it's simple. This drone is app controlled. Now, I'm not going to do a demo of the app. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you how this works and how we can use it accessibly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have it hover in front of me for a little bit, and then I'm going to land it back on my hand, and then we'll take it from there. So this drone is entirely self-voicing. Setup is very easy. You do it through the HoverAir app. Make sure the drone is plugged in and it charges. Battery life on the Pro and Pro Max is about 16 minutes, as I understand it. So, when you set it up, it will guide you through everything. Now, there is a part where you have to kind of do some guesswork. I didn't reset this drone to factory defaults because I didn't want to have to go through this again. But I would say about 99% of it is completely accessible, but most of the time most of it's automated. So if you run into problems, they're usually going to be very minor and you can work around them. And the drone has voice prompts for everything. So it will speak everything. It'll even let you know when firmware updates are completed, which is very cool. Love that feature. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get ready to fly. So I'm going to open the drone, and to do that, I'm going to basically act like it's a book. So I'm going to take the bottom, put my fingers through some slots in the cage and unfold it. And I don't know if you picked up on that kind of click, but now I'm going to lay it down on the palm of my hand. This drone is designed for palm takeoff. It's designed to take off from your hand. Now, all the other thing, the other controls that are on the drone, apart from the battery, if you have the Pro and Pro Max, there's a little view screen that you can. It's a tiny little screen. I really don't think it does any good, even for sighted people. But supposedly you can see the drone's view. Now, this is the thing that I will point out the differences between the Pro and the original X1. The original X1 has a power button and a mode button. There's two buttons. On the Pro and Pro Max, you have a power button and left and right buttons. So we're going to turn on, and I know that a lot of people will still have questions. I will be more than happy to answer those questions. I just wanted to give a very basic overview in this video of how this drone works. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to power it on. I have it in my palm. And it takes a little bit to boot up. You may hear the propellers kind of spin around a little bit as it starts up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to turn it on. Now, something that I just felt in the palm of my hand, okay, is I felt the camera rotate so that it sees me now. So the 48 megapixel camera of the drone is now locked into place in front of my face. Now, the drone will go to sleep after about a minute, so if you're using it with the app. So let's talk about the modes. So the first one is hover. That is where it will just hover in front of you for a set amount of time. Now, if I go to the right,
zoom out.
Zoom out is basically the drone will go, it will fly up and then it will zoom back away from you. So if you want to get a group shot or you want to get something like that.
Follow.
Follow is just what it sounds like. The drone will fly around behind you and follow you around. Good for if you're like hiking or biking or skiing or whatever.
Orbit.
Orbit. The drone will go up and go in a circle before coming back to you.
Bird eye.
Bird's eye is the drone goes straight up and straight down shooting video the whole time.
Dolly track.
Dolly track, the drone will go backwards away from you in front of you. So it will basically fly in front of you. It's the opposite of follow me. It goes the other way.
Hover.
Whoops, hold on.
Dolly track. Hover.
And now we're back on hover. All right. So first of all, I'm going to show you what happens when you don't have the camera pointing at the person. Okay, so I turn the drone around so it's upside down.
Dolly track. Hover.
Now, if I want to activate a mode, I short press the power button, and listen to what it will do.
Continue. Hover. Please hold the device to face the user.
Yes, so the drone has to be facing you, okay? And the reason is, excuse me, the reason is it has to see you because it uses visual tracking. So it has to see the person who launched it. Now, I'm going to take it for a spin now. So I'm standing up. Sorry, I'm going to be out of frame. Oh, crap, it went to sleep.
Dolly track. Hover.
Here we go. All right. So first of all, this thing is loud, okay? I'm going to warn you right now. This thing is really loud. There isn't anything I can do about that. So, what we're going to do is you're going to hear it take off, and then I'm going to explain how I get it back. Okay, so let me make sure we're on hover mode.
Zoom out. Hover.
So I'm holding it out in front of me so that the camera has a good angle on my face. And then I'm going to hit the power button and you'll hear what happens.
Continue. Hover.
Yeah, now as you just heard, the drone is now flying in front of me, and I can feel the wind from the propellers. So how do I get it back? Well, let me get it back, and then I'll show you. Okay, I'm gonna power it off real quick while I'm doing this. Okay, yeah, and to do that, I long press the power button. So, getting the drone back is a little bit tricky. Okay, it's more than doable. Okay, it's just a little. You got to get used to it. You feel where the wind that the drone is generating is. Okay, and you put your hands up. You put your palm up under the drone. It's supposed to drop into your hand. Now, my experience is that doesn't work some of the time. So you heard me kind of force it down, and I didn't do any damage to it. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to flip it over, and then you flip it over, and then you heard the little... That was me that was me folding it up. And that was to keep it from, basically, not necessarily going off again, but to stabilize the drone because I was holding it. Now, that was just a basic hover pattern. Now, by the way, you can customize what the drone will do in each mode. So, like, if you want it to do photos or video, you can have it do photos or video. That is controllable within the app with the various flight modes and things like that. So, just a heads up there. I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm gonna see if we can get obstacle avoidance to work, so I can show you how it works. All right. I'm powering on the drone.
Current mode. Hover.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it off from the table. Now the GoPro is in front of me. Okay, so this may make some challenges for this thing. So we're gonna take it off.
Continue. Hover.
And see, that time it worked. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and close it. Okay, now we're gonna power it off. Yeah, because one time where I tried this, I put the GoPro too close, and I didn't realize I was doing it. And when the drone was not able to clear the GoPro. So how do you know when it's run into an obstacle? Because the motor's pitch will change. That's how you know. So yeah, that is definitely how you know is the pitch of the motor will change. So you know, all of the controls that are within the app are accessible. You can look at things, you can look at files on your drone and get them off. And it uses, it creates a Wi-Fi network that your phone joins, and then it downloads your files off of it. It's really cool like that. It works just like the GoPro, actually, as far as that goes. So actually, okay, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, this is going to be really tight. Okay, this is going to be really, but I really want to see if I can stump the drone. I'm going to put I moved the GoPro so that it's really close. Okay, I mean really close. I know you've got a tight shot. You see a tight shot on me right now, but I'm doing this on purpose. Because I want to see what this will do, okay?
Current mode, hover.
Okay, here we go. Now, let's see if we can get it to not clear the GoPro.
Continue, hover. Collision detected. Please pay attention to the surrounding environment and avoid obstacles.
There you go. So now you know. All right, now I'm going to power it off. Let me move this back a little bit. So you no doubt noticed that there were a few the drone acted differently. You know, I put my hand up to get it to land, and then it gave me that warning. So it works. Okay, so I hope that gives you a general idea. And by the way, you can buy these drones on Amazon now. As of this week, you can actually buy all of the HoverAir drones on Amazon. When I first got this one, I had to actually go through us.hoverair.com, but you can actually buy them on Amazon now. If you do the Pro and Pro Max, you get various combos. And so you can get the ski combo, the bike combo, and, you know, now the beacon accessory, it does have a touch screen, and you do have to set it up. You would need, if you're blind, you would need someone to set it up for you. But, or you could use Ira or Be My Eyes. And I also want to point out that these things can use sound. So this isn't just about recording visual videos. If you have the app open and you want sound in your videos, it will use your phone's microphone or the beacon's microphone if you have the beacon and you're wearing it to record sound. Now you say, well, yeah, but that drone is so dang loud. Well, it uses noise reduction algorithms to eliminate drone noise. And it is actually incredibly effective. I have heard demonstrations of this and was blown away. And any drone footage that I put on this channel is going to have, I will be using the HoverAir app with noise reduction algorithms turned on. There are two modes. There's one that you only hear voices, and then there's another one which is like environmental sounds, but it somehow is intelligent enough to cut out the sounds of the drone. which is amazing. And it really does work. So, that about does it for this. I hope that you have found it informative. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Or those of you that follow me on social media, you may comment on those platforms, whether it be Facebook, Mastodon, whether it be Facebook or Mastodon, you can comment, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have about this. So anyway, I hope that all of you have found this video informative. If you liked it, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you do not miss anything. And stay tuned for future videos. I hope that all of you have enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will look forward to hearing from all of you soon. Take care.